damage pattern looks like, or basically where someone of Mr. O'Keefe's height, arm, would contact the rear tail light.
And also the family of the perpetrator. Going forward, we Mogans are choosing to put our energy and focus into honoring Maddie's too short life.
I mean, like you can't remember my name, I don't remember.
What is no big deal to us is a big deal to these litigants, right?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Source and Order. I go by Noah Hines, your friendly neighbor Ketchup man, and this is Ketchup Court, where we are on a mission to make trials digestible for you, so you don't need a law degree to be part of us. All you need is your source. Now, a lot of what we have planned for today's show is legendary, in my opinion. But for those that don't know what Source and Order is about, let me just catch you up to speed and let me just explain what we do in 10 seconds. So what we do is basically catch up on I'm not gonna do it in 10 seconds, but we basically do weekly recaps on here on the cases that I haven't had a chance to cover on this particular show, and also we cover classic cases that I may have an interest to cover on here, and we also take your case suggestions and do deep dives as well on here. Whatever it is that we can do, whatever topic that is of interest to cover, we bring it right here, and it happens right here on Source and Order. So yeah, so if you're watching this back on replay and you just got an idea for a case that you want to see on here, let me know in the comment section. But without further, let's begin this particular show, because there is so much I want to cover today. So let's just begin, because the first thing that we're going to do today is go through the Monica Sementilli trial. It is the second week that we're on now. We have done the previous episode. I think we started covering this trial on last week episode 3. We have covered other trials as well. Make sure you check out the link, the podcast link, and you can see all of our other coverage. But this week it's all about cheating and it's all about money. So that was a lot of what was coming out on the testimonies for week 2 of the trial. We got to hear a lot of witnesses. I believe 7 witnesses in total got to testify. So we're going to go through the key, well, at least who I found to be the key witnesses, and focus on them. But yeah, this case is wild, and we are going to get into it, because I never really got a chance to get into it back in February when it was going live. I think it was a 7-day trial. But I was in recovery, and I just didn't have the energy. And when I missed 2 days of it, and maybe you're like me, and if you just miss an hour, maybe not an hour, but just miss a day, and you just can't get back into it. Like, that's what happened to me. So I think I missed day. I think I started. I didn't start, but I saw the first clipping, the first I love the trial. I think it was on day 2 or day 3, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it, but then I fell asleep all through. Fell asleep, missed 2 days, and I was like, I'm just not gonna bother. But nonetheless, now I got the opportunity to catch up on it. I don't know the facts of the case. I'm very, very new to it. So just like you and I, if you have not seen this case, you will be learning together on here. So that's the first case, and we are rounding up the coverage of the McCann stalker trial. So we covered this for the past 2 weeks, I believe, and we're just gonna be winding it all up. And nothing much has really come out today. Nothing much else, well, this week. So we're not gonna be going deep into it, just bringing the final updates. But before we go into this particular case, the Monica Sementilli trial, I just want to warm you guys up with a segment that I really love when I first when I first started this out. It is the Ketchup indictment segments of Source and Order, where I go onto the internet, you know, the ever so chronically online, criminally dubious internet, and I explore stories that just look dubious. And I came across this story this week, and I thought it was interesting. So I wanted to bring it for you guys to discuss with you guys. It is a story of a Doordash driver that was fired for recording a sexual harassment on the job. This was weird. Like let me just go straight to it. So her name is Libby Rose Anderson, and she was fired after recording sexual harassment on the video. So what she did was go to the guy's house, was delivering a delivery. I'm guessing it was food. I think that's what DoorDash is used for. I don't really know. I normally use what is it called, Deliveroo, whatever it was. Anyway, or just eat. But anyway, she was delivering this, and then she went to the guy's home. And I want you guys to let me know whether you think that this is, what's the word I'm looking for? Whether you think that this is indictable, whether you think that this makes sense, what she is saying, or you think that this is just being overblown and his privacy is being invaded. Because let's listen to what she has, what basically went on. So that's the guy there. This is the TikTok. The guy is just lying there, and she's going to deliver the DoorDash. Questions immediately in my head.
That's fucked up.
So this is what she posted. A man named Austin ordered all this DoorDash, etc. Puts it all up and says that all of that. So I'm just warming you guys up for Monica Sementilli, because I know that not a lot of you guys are here yet. Just warming you guys up for what we have to do today. But I want your opinion on this. I want your opinion. Do you think that this is something that she should lose her job for? She goes in, she sees a guy that is naked. We don't know whether the door was open, or on first glance anyway, I don't know whether the door was open, and she just walks in and sees it and then drops it off. No idea. But let me have your opinion on this.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working. I was literally working, and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while DoorDashing.
She calls it sexual assault. That first video, by the way, she posted that, and that's why she got fired. That's what DoorDash came out and said, that we are firing you for this particular reason. We're gonna get to that, but that's why.
They just fired me.
Do you think that what she went through there, when she went to the door, do you think that was sexual assault? Let me know in the comments, because I've heard that word thrown about a lot, but do you think what she went through there was sexual assault?
And the police are doing nothing. I lost my job, and that was my only way to make money to pay my bills.
Damn. I have never seen someone this angry. Like, I've never seen someone this angry, and I get it. I get it. You lost your job, but I want you guys to tell me if it was justified.
3 days ago, October 12th, 2025, I was a victim of SA by a DoorDash customer while I was doing my job as a DoorDash driver. Excuse me if you've already seen this. This is my third time posting this because TikTok keeps silencing me and taking my videos down and giving me strikes. So if I get one more strike, you guys, I'm just letting you know right now my account is going to be banned. So I'm going to try to word this as chill as possible to avoid getting this video striked. So on October 12th, 2025, the DoorDash customer requested that their order be left at their front door. When I arrived at their front door was wide open, their lights were on, and they were sleeping on the couch within eyesight of the front door with their pants and underwear pulled down to their ankles, and they were indecently exposed to me. I got this on video, and I'm not even going to be posting the video clip anymore
Did you hear what she said there?
because I'm pretty sure that's what's getting me the strikes. But yeah, I reported it to DoorDash, and DoorDash did ban the customer. And then 2 days later, DoorDash banned me.
That's all I'm gonna get into, because listen, from her own words, she pushed the door open. She was told, leave it on the floor. And then she pushed the door open, sees the guy, like based on her own version. So you saw the guy, you go and pick up your phone, and then you record the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I found. This is, in my opinion, there is no way in my opinion that this is sexual assault. You are in your own private home. If there is an instruction, if there's an instruction to leave the stuff outside the house, you have no right. Just leave it there and go. Even, let's just say that even if the door was open, even if the door was open, don't walk in. That just doesn't make sense to me. Don't walk in. Don't look. Just put it there and go. But she did, as random girl, I said here, there were how many versions of this story? Yeah, there have been different versions of this story, and I have no idea which one to believe, but from our own mouth is what I'm using. Because end of the day, leave it there and walk. And I think that she was definitely in the wrong to actually record the whole thing and then put it up there on social media. Like, that is not your, like, I get it, because this is it's someone's private residence, man. That's just not the place to do any of this. Like, why would you record? Like, you're just asking for trouble at that point. Could you imagine? Like, flip the genders for a minute. Let's say that that was a woman and this is a guy. That is never gonna fly. That is just not gonna fly. The guy he's an SA victim in her own words as well, and then puts the girls, being naked, puts it on the internet. You are definitely going to get fired for that. And I'm surprised that the police didn't bring charges on you. That's what I'm thinking. Am I crazy? Because I was thinking that the police may have brought charges on her and be like, you have invaded the guy's privacy. I don't know. But let me know. But yeah, like, I just thought I'd quickly go through that part, quick segments, get it out of the way. Hopefully you guys are all here and we are ready to go for the Monica Sementilli trial, because this is where this is where the building blocks that the prosecution have been laying from the onset, because we went through the lead detective's questioning. We went through the details I was giving, and there was so many mention of insurance money, and we are gonna go through Ryan Verna. He is the detective on the case, and we heard him in last week discuss the crime scene photos and all the investigation that they done, the integrity of the investigation. And we didn't finish all of it, so we're gonna finish off the key parts of the investigation of Ryan Verna's testimony, because there are things there that I've noticed that is going to become very key. I think it's going to become very key later on, because like I said, I am discovering this case so if you guys have not watched this case or followed this case, you'll be learning like I am. So we are going to be going through the testimony of Matthew Nurse as well, who was the personal trainer at the LA Fitness where Monica used to frequent at. So let's just go into the first testimony. So yeah, so this is Ryan Verna. We're going to go through his testimony. We're also going to go through Matthew Nurse's testimony, as well as Elyse Boel. So those were the 5 testimonies. We're going to go through Luigi Sementilli's testimony, who is Fabio's son, and he is on day 6. And then we're going to go through the company employees' testimonies in regards to the calls that Monica Sementilli was making about the insurance money. And this is where the case turned dark for me, because I was like, why would somebody do this? Why would somebody do this? Like, what is the motivation for this? So I have done a little bit of extra digging to try and understand what I've been watching. So I can't wait to basically share that with all of you. So let's go into Detective Verna's testimony, and just close it off, not close it off, and just transition from his testimony from last week, because we went through the first few calls that he did last week, but not the key questions that was being asked after those calls. So we're gonna go into that today. So let's go into Detective Verna's testimony, and I'm only focusing on call 7. Let me find it. And also shout out to Trial Channel for putting this for compiling all of this. It's gonna save so much time. But yeah, let's go and listen to this particular call that was made to Detective Parshall, who unfortunately is dead. I believe, I don't know when exactly he died, but he had died probably when they were doing the investigation, or maybe around COVID time. I have no idea, but he is deceased. But anyway, let's go into this call.
Okay, well, like I said, this is kind of a slow-going deal. This is not, these guys didn't exactly leave calling cards when they did.
You said to me a couple of weeks ago you were going to start interviewing people. Have you? And how's that going?
Many people have been interviewed, yes. We're working on a lot of things right now. Like I said, I can't, it's not for public consumption now. I really can't talk about a whole lot of things, but this case will get solved. It's just a matter of time, and we have to build our case. We have to put everything together, and we don't really dictate how things go. It's just whatever we find out and whatever information we're provided with, it's not up to us to solve, to generate all this stuff. This stuff has to be found out and provided to us in different ways, and we have to build our case. We can't just go out and arrest someone because we think it's them. We have to have evidence.
Okay, so the reason why I went there is because for first and foremost, the question that came into my mind while I was following all this is, why on earth is she? This is February. I'm not sure of the exact date, but this is February. So this is January 23rd was when Fabio Sementilli died. So why on earth is Monica calling up the detectives trying to find out what's going on with the case? Why would that be her concern? So that was in the back of my mind. It's not clear yet. Nothing has really answered that question, but I thought I'd leave it there. As you guys know, I like to do with most of these cases. I thought I'd leave it there as a reference point, so that if something comes across later on, I can go back to this. So pinpoint that, because that behavior is weird to me, and why the detective is having to tell her, look, listen, we can't divulge information about this case. We just can't go out and do and give all of these things, like give her information that the case will get solved. But anyway, You can put it off as someone who is grieving and just wants answers. Maybe you can rationalize it as that. I just find it extremely weird. I wouldn't be that invested in finding it. I've never lost anyone, by the way, so I wouldn't know. I just don't think it's normal to be that invested. But moving on, this is where it got a bit, at least it confirmed my suspicions why I think it was weird for her to have been calling up for updates. Let's watch this next part.
You did call later today with that time.
Oh, I have another question. Can you tell me what it means, what aggressor means? So the insurance company says that he hasn't been ruled out. What does that mean?
That who hasn't been ruled out?
Fabio has not been ruled out as an aggressor. What does that mean? He's not an aggressor?
No, I have no idea what that means. They give you some kind of...
Yes, the questions that we're waiting for LAPD to answer, and which was supposed to be a while ago, and no one's called them back. Was this Fabio was a prior felon, or he was an aggressor? And if the beneficiaries need to be ruled out. That I already know, and they told me that a long time ago. No, I don't understand what ruled out as an aggressor. Why wouldn't he be ruled out already?
Yeah.
What are we waiting for?
That question was never posed to me by anyone by insurance. So if we could definitely rule that out. So I don't think it's going to change anything. Like I said, we have the other part that we're still dealing with, but as far as that goes, no, I don't think that was never posed to me or my boss either, because we both spoke to insurance people, and that was never anything explained to us or asked of us, so I don't know.
Oh God, this is ridiculous.
Okay, so this is pertaining to the call for insurance. Again, like I said, she is asking for the insurance and why Fabio is ruled as an aggressor. There was not really any answer to this. I'm going to go into the parts relating to that particular aggressor bit, because there were follow-up questions asked by the attorney in regards to this particular point. So to get a proper understanding, we are going to go to that. But first, I want to establish this part on for later on, because this was the setup for the information that's going to come out in regards to the insurance from the workers from people from Wella where Fabio used to work, as well as the spending that Monica was basically doing around the time that she was asking for this particular insurance payout. Oh, sorry.
Was there another call from the defendant that took place on May 1st of 2017?
There was.
And during that particular conversation, was there a conversation with her about whether or not she had yet replaced her DVR?
There was.
And during that conversation, did she indicate that State Farm Insurance, her homeowner's insurance policy, had paid out on her homeowner's claim in order to replace that DVR system?
Yes.
And at any time, did she tell you and or your partner or your supervisor, to your knowledge, that she had replaced the DVR?
She did not.
Okay, so this is going to come up later on, and I find this very, very interesting, because I don't know. Again, like I said, this is me learning about the case. I don't know the importance of this DVR. Maybe they have evidence to show that she had maybe manipulated a bit of something to do with the people that attacked it. Maybe that's how they implicate her in all this somewhere. I have no idea. All I know is the outcome. But I have highlighted that part so that at least I know how it connects. But let's continue.
During the May 8th, 2017 recorded call from the defendant, where she was talking about having difficulties due to the lack of life insurance money being paid out, and looking for maybe a smaller home. Did she ever mention at any point in time off tape that despite the fact that she was claiming she was having money issues, that she had just purchased a new Mustang for $62,000?
No.
You mentioned that both you and your partner, your supervisor, had conversations with MetLife, the carrier of Fabio Sementilli's life insurance policy. Was there ever any question about whether Fabio was an aggressor in his own murder?
Objection calls for speculation.
As formed.
Oh, there you go.
Was there any conversation that you had with the life insurance company about Fabio, the victim in this case, acting as an aggressor?
Objection calls for speculation. No foundation.
That's overruled. Not that I'm aware of.
So the only thing I can guess by this whole aggressive thing, because it's not been explained. Spoiler alert! I'm gonna spoil it here. It hasn't been explained this week, so there is no. I'm not gonna give any answer. There is no answer to this particular question yet. So I don't know why she was asking about Fabio being the aggressor. It has not been explained, or even went through when we went through all of the witness testimonies, including the employees. I could have missed it. I doubt it, but I just haven't heard anything about Fabio being the aggressor. So maybe it's going to be important later on. Yes, Weller is a big company. I think they Procter & Gamble merged. There was a division called Coty that merged, that basically bought Weller. So they are part of Procter & Gamble, who is the main company. So they are massive. They are very big. This wasn't a small time company. From what I think Fabio was not the biggest earner, because from what I learned, his yearly salary was 22K a year. So it's not like he was the biggest earner, but the company was definitely massive. Anyway, so that's all the testimony that I wanted to go through from Ryan Verna. I do want to point out that there was a point on the cross-examination that I do want to I do want to highlight, and it was where there was constant questions about why he wouldn't informed Monica that Baker had been caught, and he was basically saying that because they learned that Baker and Monica were basically dating or having relations with each other, they decided not to share that information with Monica. So he said, and I quote, "If we had shared that information with Monica, the case would have been in the toilet." So, so that's basically what he said, and why he wasn't sharing any of the information that was going on with Monica. Sharing at least the fact that he had caught Baker. So there was, and so now let's move on to the next testimony, and this is Matthew Nurse. He was the personal trainer with Monica Sementilli. They attended the same gym at LA Fitness, and he gave testimony about this is where it gets really interesting. He gave testimony about Monica informing him that she was not interested in the relationship, that she was just not happy in her relationship with Fabio Sementilli. Let's go and take a watch, because this I thought was very interesting to at least understand her motivations to want to go out to cheat, at least understand that very, very part.
How that conversation came up.
I think she said she was unhappy and that she thought he was cheating on her.
Did she say anything else that you remember?
Not that I recall.
Did that conversation then continue? I'm unhappy in my marriage. She told you that. Did she ever talk about it again during that first 6 months?
Maybe again.
Okay.
I can't recall.
You think maybe, but you don't recall?
Yeah.
Was your impression then that, based on her words, she wasn't in a happy marriage?
Yes.
It's overruled. So based on this witness, a substantive context.
Now, you said you talked about her kids too. What did she tell you about her kids?
She just told me about her 2 daughters, both in high school.
Okay, did she seem like she did things with her daughters and was a good mom to you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the marriage, did you give her any advice on her marriage when she told you that she was in an unhappy marriage?
I asked her, when she told me she was unhappy, I said, why don't you just get a divorce?
And what did she say to you?
Why throw away 20 years?
Did you ask her anything further about that?
No.
Did you ever talk to her again about getting a divorce or leaving her husband?
No.
Okay, so that's very interesting. That's absolutely interesting. And I wanted to look this up. I was really interested. So she said that she was dissatisfied. So I wanted to see why. There has to be more to the story. There just has to be more to the story. And I went out and I saw this study that goes into why women cheat, testing a evolutionary hypothesis for female infidelity in a multinational sample. Hello, Daria from MA, finally hitting live. Woohoo! I found you through Steve at Publicly Buzz. Woohoo! I'm so happy. I love Steve. Long-time friend of the channel. Yeah, like, I'm glad that you are here. So we are going through the Monica Sementilli trial, and I'm trying to understand her psychology into why she may have decided to go and cheat. And as the case developed, I'm going to try and find out what her behaviors was like with individual actions, so that I can at least understand what the jury may have been picking up and why they may have arrived at a guilty verdict. Because so far, I haven't seen anything that puts her at it. So she doesn't look like. She just doesn't look like she has committed this murder yet. But I know it's a guilty verdict, so I'm kind of having to work backwards to try and like put it together as I'm going along, and then see if they arrived at the right decision. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So at the moment, there is nothing implicating her except for her relationship with Baker. So that's the only feather here. So I believe Baker, not too sure. I believe he was already guilty at this point for the death of Fabio. So I believe I've heard testimony already that Baker's DNA was found at the scene, but I think that was in the opening statements. So there is a long way to go, but I want to know exactly why, the reasons why she went out, why she wanted to cheat on Fabio Sementilli. So I found this study. It's what year is this? I forgot. Oh, 2024 study. It's a 2024 study, and it says here that sometimes women goes out the hypothesis. So they gave different theories for why women will go out to cheat or something like that. One of the theory was information acquisition, which is women engage in infidelity better to understand their own mate value or learn mating relevant skills through practice. I thought that this was important to highlight because I think that this would fit Monica's persona based on what came out on the opening statements. The opening statements was about 2 days long. So there was a lot I was noting down as I was going along. So this includes improving self-esteem, obtaining positive information about one's own mate value, all of those things. Then revenge was one of them. Women engage in infidelity to punish their primary mate for misbehavior. I don't know if this is gonna come up, but it could be the reason. It could be the reason. So those were the two things that I highlighted. I highlighted there. The sample that was done was 254 people. So 254 people took part in this. I believe it was more men. 138 men, 116 women. So, strategic. Let me. This is one here. Strategic. I was extremely unhappy and unattracted to him. And one day, a man who was very attractive had shown interest in me. I wanted to experience what it was like to be with a man who was attractive. So the reason why I thought I should go here, I at least pause where I did, is because it's interesting that Matthew Nurse turned her down, and now I want to know when she met Baker, because he'll be very interested. It'll be very interesting because at least from what this poses is that it wouldn't exactly it would more likely be a cluster of behaviors rather than just one single reason, which was I'm unhappy in my relationship. Because it's quite weird to me that she was unhappy in her relationship but she didn't want to leave. So you see where I'm getting at. And then here it says variety as well. It says I was overall just bored in the relationship. That could be the case. I don't know that much detail about the relationship yet, so I'm waiting to hear more details about people that were possibly close to her. But I highlighted this because of the testimony that we're gonna go and hear later on from I believe is the friend, Miss Bayo or something like that, and also Walkaway. To be honest, I was with my partner just because I was feeling lonely, and then I didn't know how to break up. I never liked him, but I was vulnerable. So, so those are the clusters, at least the reasons why I think she would have done it. The revenge part, I don't think that really exists, because I don't think Fabio was cheating on other women. Was cheating on her with all women. I don't think that was happening. But I do believe, and this is what they found with the studies, and some of the results really shocked me, because this one didn't shock me because men cheat for sexual desire. We've always known that. Attractive affair partner, men would cheat more times. But I never thought that relationship dissatisfaction, which is 65%, well, 64.6 is, but you get the idea. 65% of women cheat because they are dissatisfied in a relationship. And I thought that was it was interesting. And also it's interesting that uninvested primary partner is the main contributor of cheating as well. But partner's affair, I found this interesting for two reasons. One, many women would cheat because of that, which goes back to the revenge part. But but the fact that men would only cheat 2.9 in this scenario, so they will go out and cheat because they want to satisfy their genitals. But when they have a reason to go out and cheat, they don't do it. I actually thought that was that was the funniest thing to find out in this study. So I just wanted to go through that and highlight these points. We are gonna go back to this and see what else comes out of this. What else actually comes out. What else comes out or unfolds that she could fit in this particular study of why someone would cheat. But nonetheless, based on what I found so far, it's, in my opinion, is skewing more to it's not dissatisfaction, but it's skewing more to either this dissatisfaction in a marriage or in the relationship, I should say, or inaffectionate partner, or not receiving affection from Fabio, which would be in this. So just trying to understand, like, not that what she did is right, no, but just trying to understand how she would get there and then rise to the level of even going ahead and kill the guy. Insane. But I haven't seen any connection to her killing him so far. Wow, I didn't know they were that long. I'm not sure what you're referring to in regards to I didn't know what that long. Daria, let me know what you mean. Disinterest from their partner. Yes, that's the one. Disinterest from their partner. So yeah, I believe that's what it's called. Oh no, uninvested primary partner. So the spouse was not invested in her. Anyway, let's go back into the testimony of Matthew, where she testified, where he gave testimony more about. He basically gave testimony more about the group that they were in racquetball with and who was organizing it. He says that Robert Baker was the one that was mainly organizing it. He is the person of interest in this particular trial and the person that Monica was cheating with. He also says that Monica also came out and cancelled her LA gym membership after the whole death. After the whole death, she cancelled the LA gym membership and then came back again and was with Robert Baker, but he doesn't know himself if Robert Baker and her were dating. And this was the other interesting part that I saw in all of his testimony. Let me just quickly go to it. And I thought this was interesting because for so many reasons, but let's hear it. Hey Brooklyn, welcome to the show. Hopefully you've had a wonderful week. But yeah, let's continue on.
On the back of two photographs, the back of a black Mustang.
Yeah.
At some point, did the defendant show you this car?
Yes.
When did that happen?
After the murder?
Do you know how long after the murder?
I can't recall how long. Shortly after. She said she had a new car and it was a brand new Mustang.
When she told you that she had a new car, brand new Mustang, where did that conversation happen?
I believe over text.
Okay, and then how did you end up seeing the car?
She brought it to the gym.
Okay, so she brought it to the gym, and then how did you actually see it, lay eyes on it?
I think she told me to come outside and check out my new car.
Okay, did she seem excited about it?
Yeah.
Now, this is if we remember, if we go back to, I wrote it down without showing you guys, but if we go back to what was testified to with Ryan Verna, he specifically said that. Oh, let me just switch my camera so you guys can see. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh no. Anyway. Oh, there we go. There we go. Anyway, there was no mention of a Mustang to Ryan Verna. So she never mentioned a Mustang or purchasing a Mustang to him. And now we are seeing the evidence given by Matthew Nurse that she had turned up with a new Mustang. Credibility is a very massive thing, very, very massive, because it's just being obliterated. Why would you? And the most interesting part about Ryan Verna's testimony is the fact that they asked him that, and it was in the context that she was complaining that she was having financial issues and she just wanted the insurance being sorted out and the whole aggressor thing. But she has a Mustang? Okay, fair enough. Hey, let's not discriminate. I would love a lady in a Mustang. I would love, if I ever see a woman driving a Mustang, I think I would lose it. Honestly, I think I would lose my mind. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, let's move on to the next part, because this next part I thought was a very interesting point to bring out in regards to the behaviors that Monica was having towards Matthew, because we got to hear quite interesting testimony about what she was doing on his Facebook.
Yes.
And did you post that onto your Facebook account?
Yes.
Along with the photo that I just showed you, 65, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you know that the defendant had downloaded those photographs of you?
No.
Objection, speculation,
Same.
Did the defendant ever talk to you about your photographs on Facebook?
She did, because she was showing her. She told me she was showing her neighbor.
How did that conversation go? Come up.
I believe she asked if this was me, and I said yes, and I asked her how she got that, and she said I found it, and I was showing my neighbor.
When she said to you, "Is this you?" What is she showing you?
These photos.
The photos, but did she show you an email, or did she show you just the photos?
Just the photos.
Could you tell that it was a screenshot of your Facebook?
I think so.
Did she tell you why she was showing her neighbor?
I think she told me to see if it was actually me.
Okay. Did you ask her, why do you have a picture on your phone of me and my ads?
No, I don't think I asked.
Did you think that was strange that she's showing you that photo and telling you that she's showing her neighbor?
I don't think it was strange, but that's, I think, when I came to realize that she might be interested more than training.
At this time frame then, was this a little bit earlier than around 2016, the one that's up on the screen right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to go here. I wanted to get here because I thought that this was a great line of questioning to show the behaviors that she was having around that time, because it's gonna serve as a good bridge to Elyse's testimony. And you're gonna understand why I'm showing this, but I must give the defense their flowers as well. I know that I'm telling this story, or I'm retelling the trial in the context of, I know he's guilty, but I'm trying to figure out if the jury got it right or not, and how he got there. So even though in that context, I'm still going to give the defense props, because in this cross-examination, when they went after this Facebook thing, because it does make their client look bad, but when they went after that Facebook, they went, okay, but you are a personal trainer, right? You would want people to know that you look fit, and you want people to have your photos. So is it out of the realm of possibility that Monica was just showing your photos to her friends to recommend your services? Bang, bang, bang. Great cross-examination. I thought that when lawyers do that and not let the state just have a free-for-all on their client, I think that's gold. But I must again go back to day one, where when I say day one, I mean last week, where we were going through the opening statements and the first part of this case. We know that Weller is rich, and based on the payout that we just got to learn about, that we are going to learn later on, she can actually afford this defense. She can actually afford this defense. So we are going to expand on that later on, because Blair Burke, who was Johnny Depp's lawyer during his divorce with Amber Heard, that's her defense counsel. So this is not small time legal defense. This is not multi-million, but enough to provide you with the best defense. And to be honest, I have seen good work from the defense so far, but that doesn't mean that they're not having to defend a client that has bad facts coming out against her every day, really, because I'm noticing that they're losing pace a little bit as the case was going on this week. But anyway, let's move on to the next witness, and this is Elyse Bluell. She is I will just say outright, she is a character. In all fairness, she is a character, and I wish I made a timestamp of when she had the hair done, and she had a dreads all over the hair. I wish I had the timestamp down. I should have had that timestamp down. But I want to go to the part, because she used to be in racquetball league with Monica Sementilli, and I want to go to the part in which Elyse testifies about gossiping about a video that Robert Baker was in. Brooklyn 10952 says, Christian Louboutin and Louis Vuitton is my first stop an hour after my check is displayed. All right. All I can hope is that the money is not coming from insurance. Yeah. Anyway, that didn't land the way I hoped. Anyway, let's move on.
I mean, it was gossip.
And that caused you concern?
Gossip. I mean, it was gossipy. Like, one morning my boyfriend had said that he had found a sex video with Robert. And so, I mean, you know, it was kind of juicy. And then there were the whispers about it, you know, like, oh, did you know he did a sex thing? And, you know, did you watch it? And, you know, I mean, it's just gossipy kind of stuff. So, I mean, I wasn't in a world of concern. It was just kind of, again, I just felt like a big kid playing, and I just...
When you found out this information about, when you were saying a sex thing, you're talking about porn?
Yes.
Did you ever tell the defendant about any of this?
Oh, 100%.
Why'd you tell her that?
Because it was juicy gossip.
And what did you tell her?
That Robert was in a sex video.
And
all right, so I want to record this part. Robert in a sex video. The reason why I'm reporting Robert was in a sex video. The reason why I'm recording this is because maybe, I have no idea, maybe we might get to learn that this might be the reason why Monica was attracted to him. We might get to learn a bit about that, because that being in a porn video, you know, being in a corn, let me say like that for YouTube guidelines, but being in a corn video perhaps is going to be an attractive person, an attractive trait to have to someone that is bored in a relationship, not satisfied in a relationship and looking to explore. So she goes after someone that seems sexually liberal, or, you know, just putting it out there. Maybe that could be the reason, but I thought I note that down. Let's go into the next part of her testimony, where she discusses the insurance money and what she did, her communications, I should say, with Monica about the insurance money and around the time that Fabio was killed. Let's watch.
Ever expressed to you any fear for her or her daughters
No.
as far as being in the house?
No.
Did she ever talk to you about leaving the house and going to stay somewhere else during that time frame?
No.
Did she...
I remember this part is where they were discussing where she wanted to know if they were getting cameras into the house, getting security cameras into the house. But she says that she never spoke about getting security cameras into the house or do all those things. It was only that Monica was discussing with her the insurance money. I believe the security cameras is going to be very important later on, because again, we noted earlier, the DVR system. I really believe that.
Did she ever talk to you about getting these security cameras or safety for the house?
No, she didn't.
During the next couple of months, did she ever talk to you about who could have killed Fabio?
No.
Never brought that up?
No.
What was she talking to you about?
Was like why she wasn't getting the insurance, why it was taking so long. She didn't understand why she couldn't have her phone back. She was really worried about money.
So when she was worried about money, specifically with insurance, what was she telling you about that?
She didn't understand why it was taking so long. And she was frustrated about it taking so long.
Prior to this, had she ever talked to you about any of the finances within their marriage?
No.
Did she ever call the insurance companies in your presence?
Yes.
And what do you recall?
I recall we were supposed to go out that evening and I got into a fight with my boyfriend. And so I wanted some Sorry, it was a Saturday and I wanted to hang out with a girlfriend. So I said, can I just come over earlier? So it was, I don't know, around noonish. Apparently not good with time. But yeah, so I showed up and she was like, sorry, I need to make this call. And she was on the phone with the insurance company. And I was trying to not listen. And then there was some talk, I want to say with the detectives, the police, because she wanted the phone and she didn't understand why things were taking so long. And she was stressed about how she was going to pay for things and why is this, she was very stressed.
Would you say that out of, since the murder occurred, the main topic that you shared with her, was it about insurance money?
Yeah.
It's overruled.
That was the main topic?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, were you aware that she bought a new Mustang?
Yes.
Was this during the same time frame that she was complaining about not having any money?
Yes. Yes.
When she bought that Mustang, did she show it to you?
Yes.
Did she seem happy about it?
Sure. Yes.
What did she tell you about that Mustang?
That Fabio would have wanted her to have it.
Okay. Did she do anything to make the car look better?
The windows were tinted.
Did she tell you that she went and took the car to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So she was talking about sprucing up her new car to you?
Overruled.
Yes.
Okay.
She was really excited about the car.
Interesting. Fabio wanted me to have this Mustang. Fabio would have wanted me to have this Mustang. That's interesting. So before, we heard that she was not, that she can't leave Fabio, but she was not happy in her marriage. Now that he's dead, Fabio would have wanted me to have this Mustang. You're right. Brooklyn, this whole thing is weird. It is. And we still haven't established exactly if Monica was the one to have killed him. It's just now we are focusing on the motive. It's just the motive that is just being laid on here. So the next part of the testimony that we're going to hear, I'm not going to cover the cross or anything like that. There was nothing eventful going on there. But all of these key information, at least is what I'm noticing that the prosecution is delivering. It's only been day 5 now? They are already delivering on most of their promises on the cross-examination. It may have taken long to get here because of Detective Verna's testimony, but the groundwork that has been laid with that particular testimony, depending what's going to come out later on, I can understand why the jury would have been very persuaded with the story that they're being presented with, because it's very concise. It's just extremely concise. It's direct, and it just goes to the heart of the matter, which is, listen, she did this because of this. But rather than end with the because you don't need a motive to prove the murder, they're starting with that and just letting it stick in your mind so that when they deliver the killer blow, maybe that connects it all together. So that's what, at least that's what I'm noticing the play is gonna be. At least That's what I'm noticing the play is so far. I should say. So this next part is interesting for a number of reasons, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier in regards to the whole cheating dynamic. Let's actually watch what she was testifying to when she learned about Monica and how she was grieving after Fabio's death.
Thank you. No further questions. Along the lines of grieving, was she telling you during the months that followed, the first couple months, that she was going out?
Yes.
And what did she tell you about that?
She said that she liked to go out and dress up and have guys hit on her.
And when she said that, then, does that factor into your opinion that you didn't feel as though she was grieving?
Yes.
Why so?
It didn't seem like she would. It just seemed odd that someone who was grieving really liked having other men hit on her and get thrilled. You know, it just seemed weird.
And this was shortly after Fabio had been murdered?
Yes.
Now, you...
Okay, so I know that people grieve in them in many different ways, but obviously we can tell that she was having a whole phase right here. We can just tell that she was having a whole phase. She just wanted that moment to feel validated. So or automatically, going back to the study already, we talked about Rambo, where we went through the study and discussed about what was it? Not just being bored in a relationship, but it would make sense why she may have also cheated in the relationship, because she just has low self-esteem. That's what I'm gathering here, because to me, based on the friend even knowing that, she just wouldn't know that without Monica telling her in some form. So that definitely happened, and I don't know if there's a vendetta between Elyse and Monica to kind of think why she would lie, but at the very least, going back into this study, even though I did highlight that this is possibly the main motivator for all of it, it could also be the validation and self-esteem. It literally could be that reason. And based on her actions after the death, in going for other men and not just Robert Baker, that could be the case. That really could be the case. So that is... Now let's move on to Fabio Sementilli. But what do you think the motivator is, though? Like, why do you think she was actually cheating on this man? Like, what would actually be the reason? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you're watching back on replay or in the chat. I want to speak with you guys about this. But yeah, that was day 6 done. Well, now we are still in day 6. We're now going into Fabio's testimony. And before we go into his testimony, I want to go into another study, because we have heard a lot about insurance money for this particular case. So I went and did some digging about that particular fact. And this was an article from The Conversation. I read them quite a bit. And it's a 2018 article. So it's interesting that it's around the same time this whole investigation was going on. I doubt that they're writing for, in response to all this. But anyway, I just find it interesting. But it says why some people in non-violent relationships kill their partners. So I haven't dug into all of this yet. I will dig into it because it's a 300-page study. I just don't have that stamina to go into that yet. But I am going to go into Cliff Notes, because it just summarized what was in that particular study. It says that jealousy is one of the primary drivers for why someone would kill in a relationship. Now, I don't know exactly Monica's involvement, whether it was commissioning of the murder. Maybe that's why she is being brought in that way. So I think she's charged with first-degree murder. So because of that charge, it could just be because of the fact that she was planning all this together with Robert Baker, based on what has been presented in the opening statements. But just for curiosity's sake, jealousy is one of the reasons. In fact, 40% of the reason why partners kill each other, like not kill each other, why one partner will kill the other partner. So it says here that husbands will kill their wives for this particular reason, because they were jealous. It could spill into cheating as well, because jealousy and cheating is kind of coincided. As it could be that reason. I don't think it's been but because without me reading the whole article to understand the context behind what they mean by jealousy, I will not understand how they arrived at that. But I will get more idea. But the main part I want to go into is the gain part. It says the second most common motive for the intimate partner homicide studied was gain, and this was 23%. In these cases, the primary reason for the homicide was to acquire some personal and tangible benefit. These victims were killed because they had something that the offender wanted, such as money or property. In contrast to the jealousy homicide, gain homicides were more often committed or solicited by females. Those that involved females, 5 out of 7 cases, were committed for financial gain, either because the woman wanted an insurance payout and assets, or because they thought they were going to be cut out of the wills following a divorce. Importantly, in this case, there were no prior abuse from the women's husbands. This finding goes against how often we view female killers. And I think in the article, based on the little part I did read, they were cautioning that if they don't spot this behavior, that some women could become pathological and go on to become serial killers. Which is interesting, because this is kind of telling me that the reason why there are not many female serial killers is because society have learned this and have made precautions to nip this in the bud so that it doesn't escalate. That was the first thing that came into my mind, but nonetheless, moving on, because they were not a reaction to domestic violence. Perhaps it reflects that females, sorry about that, clicked the wrong button. Perhaps it reflects that females traditionally have less financial security. Let me zoom in a little bit, didn't realize that. At retirement due to lower earnings, maternity leave, and other life circumstances. That's very interesting, because we will get to see how much Fabio was earning around that time as well. For some women, the feeling of entitlement and the need to financially secure themselves and their family may develop into a heightened risk for their male partners during the divorce. So that was very interesting read. Let's go back into the testimony of Fabio Sementilli. And you guys can as we go on, I want to see how these develop. Like, I want to see what comes out from the studies that I read. But anyway, Fabio gave testimony in regards to the history. He basically said that around 1995, his mom, because Luigi Sementilli is that's Fabio's son. So he was his son from the first marriage. So Luigi is testified to that particular history when Fabio and the first wife, I forgot her name, but they were living in Canada. And they got a divorce. So based on Canadian law, according to his testimony, Fabio had to have a life insurance set up for Luigi, which is how he even got to learn that he stood to benefit from his life insurance, from Fabio's life insurance in the event of his death. So that's why he got his life insurance. And I thought that was a very interesting testimony, because at least he shows that he could not have possibly been part of this if he wanted to be part of it, because he had no idea of all of this. But the interesting part about his testimony that I wanted to go in today was right off the bat, he was giving testimony about a time in which him and his sister Jessica were in a car with both Monica and Fabio. And Monica and Fabio were having an argument. Let's listen to this particular part of the testimony because I found this very interesting.
When you were at their house over that 15-year period where you heard the defendant and your father arguing or fighting at all?
Yes, on more than one occasion, yeah.
Okay. And do you recall what the defendant was fighting with your father about?
I do, yeah. They were arguing about potential extramarital affairs that were going on.
By the defendant?
By the defendant, yeah. So on one occasion, it was a text message or email that had been found, and I'm overhearing a very loud argument between them, and my dad being the one who found something that shouldn't have been found, perhaps, and then the defendant being, defensive and apologetic and all that about that. And then there was another instance where I was in the car, and my younger sister Jessica, she was very young at the time. I want to say maybe 6, and she had inadvertently or unknowingly let slip in the car in conversation that the defendant, her mom, Monica, was flirting with someone at a grocery store on a regular basis. And so my sister is saying this very flippantly, not realizing the ramifications of what was said. And then as soon as that was said, even Monica reacted like, oh, why did you have to say that? Because of course now it's going to cause this argument. So yeah, the multiple arguments about infidelity over the years, yeah.
Always on the defendant's side,
Yes.
or were any of them on your dad's side?
None on my dad's side.
Do you recall how old you were during any of these arguments regarding the defendant's infidelity?
Yeah, so the one when we were in the car, I remember pretty vividly. I'm going to say it was probably 12 or 13 at that time. And the one where emails and text messages were found was several years prior. So I was significantly younger, 9, 10, something like that.
Do you remember approximately how old Jessica was when she made the comment about the flirting?
So in that case, if I was, say, 12 or 13, Jessica would have been 6 or 7.
Now, did you have a close relationship with both Jessica and Isabella prior to the murder of your father?
Prior to the murder, yes.
Would you say that relationship has dramatically changed after your father's murder?
Yes, that would be an understatement.
Okay. During the time that your father was living with the defendant and your sisters in Canada, and you would stay over, who would you say would be the boss in the home? Who was in charge?
It was Monica.
Who was in charge of the family's financial situations?
That would be Monica as well.
Now, when it came to paying, let's say, for instance, your tuition or your housing while you were in college, who was the one that would have conversations with you and your mother about paying the tuition or your housing?
That would be Monica as well.
So what this is presenting is that Monica would know about the insurance before killing because she has knowledge of the finances and she was in charge of all of that, making the payments of the tuition, all that. So she would have a very good idea what they were making, what they were entitled to, what Fabio was earning, all of those things. Interesting.
Once your father and the defendant and your sisters moved to the United States, did you still speak with your father on a regular basis?
Yes.
And did you also see him on a regular basis every year?
Yeah, he would visit Canada, and then I would also make a yearly visit out to California.
Okay. And when you would come to California, did you stay at the home with the defendant, your father, and the girls?
That's correct.
All right. At some point in 2016, prior to the murder, did you, of your father, Did you come to stay at the house?
Yes.
Was that the house on Queen Victoria in Woodland Hills?
That's correct.
And where, when you came to the house, did you come by yourself or did you come with your girlfriend?
In 2013 and 2014, I traveled alone. In 2015, 2016, and 2017, I traveled with my girlfriend at the time.
You don't want this guy as a this guy. By the way, this guy is a killer witness for the defense, because as I was going through all of his testimony, it was just there was nothing more the defense could do, because this witness is just devastating. His recall is on point. Not only that, he's a very well spoken, appears extremely credible, very honest. And to be quite fair, like losing his dad and having to testify in this whole scenario and still keep his composure like this just shows, like, you know, he's just fed up. Like, that's the message I'm getting. Like, it's not fed up in the sense that he's gonna be frustrated and show that frustration externally, but just more of that, I just want to get this out of the way. I have nothing to hide, and I've lost my dad. What more do you want me? Like, I'm not going to be testifying. I'm only going to testify to the truth. At least that's what his body language, all those things, is communicating to me, at the very least, because he is just too credible. You don't like the defense must have shook their heads when they heard this guy speak and how he was delivering everything that he was saying.
That would be Julia, yes?
That's correct.
Showing you Exhibit 7, is this the home in 2016 that you stayed at when you came with Julia to visit your father and the defendant and the girls?
Yes, that's the home.
We have another photo of the, that's been shown already, the victim along with his 3 children. It could be marked as people 73.
Yes.
Okay, so he was essentially let's continue on. I think it's coming up.
Showing you people 73. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yep.
Is this a photograph of you and your father and your 2 sisters?
That's right.
Do you know where this photo was taken or approximately when?
Yeah, I think this was in 2016. I think this was in California.
Looks like at perhaps a Starbucks.
Yeah. For sure there's a Starbucks there. I can see I'm wearing my Brock University shirt underneath the long sleeve thing. Yeah.
And while you were staying at with your father and your sisters and the defendant, where were you sleeping?
Mostly in the upstairs computer room area.
So I have a photograph, actually 2 photographs. It's titled Search Warrant 5012 Queen Victoria Road, 2nd floor living area, the date of June 14, 2027. May these photos be marked as people 74, please?
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically, I think we've already gone past it, but going back to his particular testimony where he gave earlier in regards to some of the tensions that Monica and Fabio were facing, it was when they were in that car, and basically Jessica had said something about the mother, about Monica basically flirting with other men, and Monica, and according to his testimony, Monica was reacting as if, oh, I can't believe we have to deal with this again. So there's already, based on what he's testifying to, and of course it's just his version, but taking his version as truth, there's already conflict there and prior infidelity. Well, I'm not sure how people measure infidelity. Some people think some people think cheating is not kissing. Sorry, kissing is not cheating. Some people think a hug, no, not really a hug, but some people think that having that kind of intimate relationship with somebody else could be classed as cheating, whether it will be emotional investment, like time, etc., with someone else that isn't your partner. Some people class it as that. Some people class only sexual intercourse and kissing as cheating. So I don't know. But based on what he is describing, that could be seen as cheating because of the flirting with somebody else that isn't your partner. So you can already get the idea that they were already having troubles within their marriage around the time of 2016. So let's go into the next part of the testimony that I thought was it was very interesting, because this was around the time of the murder, and he received a call. I believe he said it was Deborah, the neighbor, Monica's neighbor, Deborah, on the call, asking him about the particular insurance. Let's hear what he has to say in regards to Monica's reaction regarding this whole insurance debacle.
I think so, for just a moment. I think she said here, gave it to Deborah.
Deborah, do you know somebody by the name of Deborah?
So Deborah Obad was a neighbor of theirs, and sort of like one of the only family friends from the area, I suppose.
Had you met her when you would come to visit once a year to Los Angeles to visit your dad?
Yes.
Okay. And so you knew who she was? Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
And did you also speak to the defendant during that same phone call?
Yes.
And did the defendant relay information to you from the defendant?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure. Did Deborah relay information to you from the defendant, your stepmom?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did she say to you from the defendant?
Objection, calls for speculation, no foundation.
I'll hear it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so when Deborah came on the phone with me, she said to me, Monica's freaking out about money, worried that they're not going to have money, and that there's money coming to me, and so that I would help them with the money that I was to receive, because they need the help.
So
interesting. So let's go into that testimony. So Deborah Obed. So I have no idea who this girl is. I don't know whether she's going to be defense or prosecution. I'm interested to find out, because if she testifies for the defense, I'm guessing that she is going to refute what he's saying. But if she testifies for the prosecution, but nonetheless, it's about money from him, so Luigi, because of the whole insurance delay. So all of this is around after the murder. The reason why I highlight this is because how did she get the Mustang? Depending on his testimony, we are going to get the context for how he got the Mustang.
One of the first things that was said to you was that Monica was freaking out about money, and that money was coming to you.
And that I was to get money, therefore, the presumption was that I was going to give them money to help.
When you say the presumption, you're saying Deborah and Monica said that you would give Monica money?
Yeah, Deborah was like, don't worry, he'll give it to you, basically very presumptuously. And
she's talking to Monica as she's on the phone with you?
And then relaying it to me and saying, you got to help them out. They're going to need help with money, this, that, and the other.
Okay. And
so Monica knew that he was going to get a payout. So that means she knew that he was entitled from the first divorce, because of the life insurance that he had set up from that first divorce, that he was going to get the money first. Therefore, court was going to say, the family needs you, because she was going through financial troubles, as she was relaying to the detectives that she was having money troubles. So, again, nothing concrete yet to show money transfer from him to Monica, but based on his testimony, this is likely where she got the money from to buy the Mustang. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. I could look stupid in the next few streams as this unfolds, but it just seems likely to me.
And did you, in fact, the phone get passed to the defendant so you could speak with your stepmother?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did she say to you?
As soon as the phone was passed to Monica, and we spoke for the first time after the murder. The first words out of her mouth were regarding life insurance money.
What did she say specifically, if you recall?
Yep, she says, there's money coming to you, your dad took care of you, there's money coming to you, you'll be able to buy a house, you'll be able to buy a car. Yeah, that was the topic of conversation.
Did she say anything to you about there being a life insurance policy?
Yes.
And what did she say about that?
That you have money coming to you from life insurance, you'll be able to buy a house, you'll be able to buy a car. Your dad took care of you with these things that will now be paid out.
And did she specifically say to you that there was a hefty life insurance policy?
Oh, big, yes. Lots of life insurance was up for grabs here. That was the message that was given.
Okay. But do you recall using the words when you spoke with detectives previously that the words she used, the defendant, was that there was a hefty life insurance policy?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So that's all I wanted from there, because he did go on to testify a lot more, and he explained how the divorce elements in Canada was mandatory to set up a life insurance, and he only learned about that. We went through all of that, but the most important part that I want to highlight from his testimony was the fact that he said that the call was made hours, and I mean the call was made hours after Fabio had died. Apparently that was what he said, after Fabio was died. Interesting. Let's move on to the documents that when he let me reset. So he had the call with Deborah Obed, and after the call he had to travel to Monica's residence to discuss this a bit more. So when he got to Monica's residence, he was shown the life insurance documents by Monica Sementilli. And this was the Jesus Christ. This is why I said she could afford her defense. $3 million in total he was due to earn from the life insurance. This just reminds me of Karina Cooper trial, where she stood to earn $1.5 million from her husband's life insurance. I forgot the name of her husband. Damn it. Unfortunately, I forgot the name of her husband, but that was how much he stood to earn. Monica stood to earn $1 million. Hey, Trial Channel, I love you. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much, by the way, for covering this trial, because you've made it so much easier to get to get it ever so concise. But yeah, welcome anyway. Better late is never, but better late than never. Is that a saying? Better late than never. Yeah, I believe that's a saying. But yeah, welcome to the stream. There's always replay. You can go back. We went through a dive. I'll just do a quick summary. We went through a dive in which we were exploring why Monica went out to cheat, and I, because of course this is the source, the ketchup spilling over. I thought that it was relationship dissatisfaction, but there could be overlaps with validation and self-esteem. And this is a study that was made in 2024, where they had 254 participants. 116 were women, 138 were men, and these participants were answering questions, or there was a test done to try and gauge the reasons why they effectively cheated on their partner. So and a lot of and this was the reason why I believe she did it. This was one of the reasons, which was they saw an attractive man. I believe that Monica found Baker attractive, so that's why I highlighted it. She was also bored in a relationship. That was one of the reasons. And they wanted to walk away from the relationship, so they cheated so that it could cause conflict to leave. I highlighted that because we just heard testimony from Luigi in regards to a previous cheating incident where there was flirting around, and Jessica blurted it out, and they they had a whole argument. So that was what I highlighted. So yeah, we went through all of that. You can go. We done it. You can go check that out on the replay. But let me just continue on. Let me just continue on in regards to these documents and what Monica was basically saying when they learn of this document.
Showed you a document similar to this one?
Yes, many times.
Or this one?
Several times, yes.
Okay.
In one instance, I was brought up, like we were saying, I was brought up to that room, and a fresh version was printed out, a hard copy. Yeah.
Okay. And was the defendant showing you this document?
Oh, yes.
And what, if anything, did she say about the document that looked like this, that she printed out that day while you were in town that week for your father's viewing and wake?
Yes, so when she printed out the document, she was showing it to me. It was just me and her up there. She was looking at it, looking down, smiling at it, and even in this strange way, petting this piece of paper.
What do you mean by petting?
Just looking at it as though it was some precious thing that she was holding on to in her hands, kind of moving her hand across it.
Oh, let's go to the whiteboard. Monica. Petting and grinning, looking at insurance documents. And I'll be very honest. I do not blame her. That's a lot of zeros. Let's just be real here. Let's be human here for a second. Have you ever seen 1 million in your life? Let alone 3 million. Let alone seeing 3 million on a paper. I don't blame her for grinning and petting documents. Oh my gosh, my precious. That kind of money coming in will cure depression. I'm pretty sure it will lift you out of your grief. I'm not saying she was right by what she's doing or what she did or what I don't know how it connects yet. But if I'm looking at this, I mean, of course, the guy is dead. I'm just saying, like, in that moment, if we are going to micro-analyze this to say that this is likely my precious, if we are going to analyze that and just say that this is, motives for why you done it, but, well, kind of be fair here, let's bring it back to the middle, because any human being seeing that amount of money in front of them, they are going to be happy. Especially, I don't know Monica's background yet, so I want to see what the defense are going to put on to counter all of this. But if she comes from a poor background and not middle class, then that could explain. That could really explain why she may have had this moment. But anyway, let's go into let's finish off his testimony.
That's the term precious thing that'll be stricken. Everything else remains.
So she was moving her hand across the document.
Yeah, it sounds silly, but I know what I saw. I was being shown this document, and I was being shown, look at how fantastically large all of these numbers are. Isn't this great? That's what happened.
And on the document, did the defendant point out for you and make any statements about how much money you were expected to receive?
Yes, because that's included in the document.
Okay, and that, if we look at this document, it has your name at the top in a couple of different locations, but it also has the name Monica, and then Jessica and Isabella's names, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And along the left side of the document, there is different types of sources or types of properties, such as life insurance, P&G stocks, Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo, profit sharing, retirement accounts, things of that nature. Yeah.
That is just insane amount of money. Wow.
And percentages, is that right?
That's right.
In each column for each person?
That's correct. Percentages for each of the beneficiaries and how much of what was being allotted to whom. That's correct.
Yeah.
And this is it.
Right, even middle class, like, you are gonna, like, I mean, come on, it's $1 million. You are going to get close to $1 million. You don't have to work a day in your life ever again. I would buy a Mustang too. I would buy I'm getting an Aston Martin. Like, Jesus.
Again, within a few days of your father's murder at this house. Is
Yes,
that right?
just a few days. Yep.
And from the version of the document that she showed you,
I get it. It looks bad. It looks bad. I mean, a few days. I mean, let the body go cold first. like that's just that does look bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front that. Like, you know, if you put it in a context of maybe a week or a month later, it's nothing. But in a few days, it doesn't remove the human element, but a few days is actually sus.
that day, who was getting the most amount of money? Which beneficiary was getting the largest portion?
Monica.
The highest amount of money that I've seen in my life came from a loan. How much was it? Damn, I don't want to get this figure wrong. I think it was it 10,000 or 5,000? I had to get it written off, but I think it was around that time. That's the highest amount, and that was from a loan. So imagine getting it for nothing. Like, you think that takes you far? Like, you think that takes, I don't know, man. I've never had that money to even know what takes me far. I know that in my current living situation, 200 pounds, you guys call it dollars, so that would be 250 pounds. You guys call it, so that'll be around $300, $350, maybe around that. That takes me for a whole month. So, will $950,000 take me far? Yeah, that's what Brooklyn says. But you have to repay that. I know, but like, I'm just saying, I'm just comparing. Like, that's the highest amount I've seen or witnessed in my entire life. That's the highest amount, and that comes with an obligation. This is nothing. This comes with no strings attached. It's yours. I'm just saying, like, I think that would, I mean, in my life anyway, it would take me so far. It would take me up to the moon, if I'm being honest. It would take me up to the moon. It would take, and as the mind would eat into that a lot faster. I mean, she bought her Mustang for 62 grand. I don't know how much Aston Martins cost. Maybe 250. Maintenance. I wish you much more. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go into the next part, because this is where I think he gave testimony about Monica sending him a picture about the life insurance and telling him to delete it. I noted it down, but I'm not going to go into that testimony because I don't think something is interesting is going to come out. Something might come out of that later on, but I'm not going to note it down. It could be linked between maybe they might have a communication with Baker that happens around that same time. Maybe that's why they're teasing it now, but I don't think that's much of a bombshell, but the one part I do want to highlight is the part that Monica was telling him to relinquish his stock options because he was getting more. I thought that was interesting. Let's go and listen to this part of the testimony.
Relinquish my portion of to the effect of, I believe it was, yes, I was told that stock options.
So,
yes, I was told that stock options were being liquidated to the effect of, I believe it was $100,000 or so, and I was asked by the defendant if I would relinquish my portion of what was due to me, because I was to receive more than my sisters.
that was because of the Manulife policy?
Sorry, say again?
Because of the Manulife policy?
Yeah, yes, because of the Manulife policy and the way the percentages were in general, it looked like I was due to receive more than my sisters. But regardless, I was asked to relinquish my portion of that stock option.
Okay. And so this was did the defendant tell you that this stock options were through P&G, Procter & Gamble?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so the defendant asked if you would give up your portion of your of the P&G stock options so that your sisters could have more.
That's correct.
And did the defendant tell you that she needed you to do this because she indicated she was having financial problems?
It's getting close.
I'll ask it another way. Did the defendant tell you why she wanted you to give up your portion of the stock options?
Yes.
And why was that?
Yes, it was because they're struggling financially and I'm due to receive more than the others.
Damn. All right. So that was the diary examination done. And I thought that this particular stock options, let's go into that because this is manipulation. Manipulative tactics. Guilt the son. So, damn. They are going to expound on that later on. I can already feel that they're going to build around that later on. But to give up stock options, that is gonna, I feel like that's gonna become important later on. I feel, but it could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could be nothing. Let's move on. So there was one part that I thought that was interesting from this cross-examination, and again, like I said, even though I know the answer, even though I know the sequel, even though I know how this movie ends, I gotta still give defense props for some of the things that they were asking, because remember when on Detective Ryan Verna's testimony where he said that they were not sharing any bit of information in regards to the investigation because because they didn't want to disrupt the integrity of they didn't want to, ruin the integrity of the investigation. Well, based on what the son is going to testify to here, it is important to highlight how it's important to highlight this particular part. Let's go into the cross-examination. I'm only going to look at this part is by Blair Burke.
Okay. And when they called you, they didn't just tell you that your stepmom had been arrested. They told you that they believed your stepmom had been having an affair with the man who had murdered your dad, correct?
That's correct. They gave me all of the details of the case as they put it together.
Their theory, their opinions about what the evidence was in the case, correct?
They relayed to me the evidence of the case.
They told you also their opinion in that phone call, telling you that Monica Sementilli had been arrested, that they believed that she had done this for insurance, correct?
That's correct. Now, I had asked them as well, because it's my stepmom at the time, and I said to them, in your professional opinion, could this be a mistake? What's going on here? How does it look from your perspective, everything you know? And then, yes, they of course gave their opinion on the matter, which is that it was a very damning and a very damning case with a lot of evidence, which I also saw as well.
They told you that. They thought it was a very damning case with a lot of evidence.
That's correct.
Okay. And in fact, you questioned the detective about the insurance, about some kind of financial motive. You, at the time, when you spoke to the detective, said that she's just not that kind of person any more than anyone else in my family. Do you remember saying that?
I don't remember saying that, no.
I think on redirect exam, I think that the prosecution came out and said, I'm not too sure again, I think they came out and said that this particular interview that the defense is bringing up here, it was more in June when they were already making an arrest, that the integrity of the investigation was not really compromised, etc., that they thought that she was reading the life insurance. I still think it's important to note out, because whatever time this information was divulged, I don't believe the charges was brought yet. So I think that was the benefit of having all of that going to a jury. I don't know exactly when the charges were brought. Let me just put it out there. I don't know exactly when. I do know arrests were made. It would help if I go back a little bit and look at a timeline between 2017 to now. It would help. But I'm just highlighting this here as a hunch to basically say that this was a very good part to bring up, because of what the prosecution were basically highlighting in Ryan Verna's testimony. So let's go on to the next witness, who was Salvatore Mocheri's boss. Who was Salvatore Mocheri, who was Fabio's boss when he got promoted, when he was at Weller. So he got promoted and Fabio took his position, so his old position. So he was just basically giving testimony about the background, and there was a voice message that apparently he received on the 23rd of January 2017. So, and he sent this to the police. So I believe this is the same voice message or a phone call or something, a call that was made, that was brought in by the defense during Ryan Verna's testimony at around 4:46 p.m. the day of the murder. So the murder happened, according to Ryan Verna's testimony, around 4:53. So I'm guessing that this is the part that he fills in the blank. So, but that's not the part I wanted to focus on, because his testimony is long, and in my opinion, he didn't really divulge any much information, if I'm being honest, that I could glean at. All I could say, the part I want is where he was testifying that Monica was calling the company incessantly and borderline harassing their HR company, harassing the HR, asking about this particular insurance money. Let's watch.
Were you also informed that they had provided the defendant with documentation in order to file a claim on behalf of Fabio Sementilli for his life insurance?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. Were you told that the defendant was calling constantly regarding
hearsay argument?
Can you finish the question?
Insurance money?
Overall.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. Were you informed that the defendant was calling constantly regarding insurance money?
Objection.
Overall.
I was informed that there were repeated calls with the topic being the insurance money.
Okay. All right, we have 3 photographs from May 22nd, 2017. May they be marked please as people's 90?
These are photos generally of what?
They are photographs of the May 22nd memorial, and they have the numbers 3, 4, and 5 in the bottom left corner. Showing you people's 90 with a
Thank you, Char Channel, for this. She says Brooklyn, she was arrested and held. So Monica was arrested and held without bail from 2017 to trial date in 2025. Yikes. I didn't think it was possible to hold someone for that long. I really didn't think so. That's actually wild.
In the bottom left corner. Is this something that took place that you know where it's from?
This looks like it's from the memorial.
Okay, so
Memorial
Yes.
on May 22nd?
Yes.
Showing you exhibit, and do you recognize the individuals that you see here?
Yes, his daughter, Morella, and Monica.
Okay, so I believe this was the memorial that he attended. Like I said, he just gave testimony about Monica calling, informing HR calling regularly in regards to the insurance money. He also gave testimony about meeting or being introduced to Robert Baker on May 22nd, Memorial Day weekend at the gym. Interesting. This was after the death of Fabio. So that was the testimony around that, and he says that this was the same person he saw on the news. When he learned about the death of when he learned about Fabio's death. So that was his testimony done. The next testimony was Sally Sean. Her testimony was interesting for so many reasons, because it was interesting because it was an eyewitness account, but at the same time she didn't really offer much because she was just she had a senior role in the company, so there was not much substance she can give outside of just how she knew Fabio. But what she observed when she went to the house, she was very scared going into the house. She testified to that, said that it was extraordinary that for someone that has just been killed in the house, the doors were open. It's like they didn't care, you know. So I thought that was strange. But that's not the point I wanted to focus on, because the point I wanted to focus on was the fact that she testified about what Monica was doing and her movements around the time of Fabio's death.
And your answer was
No.
thank you. Monica, then, the defendant, did she tell you about a trip to Vegas?
Yes.
And what did she tell you about that?
That was also at the March dinner. And she said a friend of hers had a timeshare and she was going to go take some time off and go to this timeshare in Vegas.
Did she tell you who she was going with?
She did not.
Did she tell you why she was going?
Just to get away. And I remember being a little bit shocked because to me, Vegas is not the place that I would go immediately after the tragedy. But then I felt really badly for judging her, if that's where she had somebody who offered her, because of the money situation, a free place to go. That, okay, you know, Vegas might not be for me, but if somebody has a timeshare there and they offer it to you, then it kind of made sense that she might do that.
And do you know if she ever stayed in this timeshare?
Just stay.
All right, so I don't see anything wrong with that personally, but I just want to highlight it. Monica went to Vegas. This was, from what I'm guessing, because this was around the time that the company was all gathering around the funeral. This was around the time of the 23rd to 27th. So Monica, around this time, was going to Vegas, 2017. She had a timeshare. Remember, she just quoted the money situation. So it was kind of maybe maybe you can say it was public knowledge. Well, within their circle anyway, it was public knowledge that Monica was suffering, that she was not getting the money. So with this time line in place, you can kind of understand the context. Sorry about that, because something's stuck in my throat. You can kind of understand the context of why she would ask Luigi for stock options, why she would become Gollum, my precious documents. So the insurance documents all around this time. But it's weird that all of these things were happening around that time, and yet people were thinking that she had money issues. Why would they think this? Of course, we already have, like, the last witness. We didn't go into much depth, but he only gave a blanket understanding that Monica was calling them, informing HR and calling regularly about the money issues. So Sally Schroen, who was Fabio's friend and his colleague, because she is based in Switzerland, she took up a global role in the company. I think it's Cody. Was it Cody? Trial channel, please correct me, but I think it's Waller. She took up a global role, and she transferred to Switzerland in 2014. So she doesn't really know much about what's going on. It's just this particular trip. Okay, thank you so much. It is Weller. All right. So that was her testimony done. This is the last testimony for today, and this is the only person we're gonna go through because that's day 5 to day 7. That concludes that week. I believe it was Monday to that concludes week 2. So this particular testimony is by Tracy Rakovich, who was the benefits director. She was the 11th witness. Weller is Cody now. So Cody bought out Weller. So it was a rebrand, not a absorption. So it wasn't like Weller still exists under the brand of Cody. It was just it was rebranded completely to Cody. Okay, did not know that. Thank you. It's Cody now, not Weller. No longer Weller. Fair enough. Thank you for that. Thank you, Trial Channel. So that's interesting. Tracy now comes in, and I call this a slow roast because she was entitled. She was Procter & Gamble. Yep, Brooklyn. Yep, Procter & Gamble is the main company. So so Cody is under Procter & Gamble. So Tracy was testifying that she was the one that was handling the life insurance, health insurance, and welfare at MetLife, and she was the benefits director. She also testified to knowing that she had also met Fabio Sementilli at a seminar in Woodland Hills. She testified that Fabio was earning $22,000 a year. And would have earned 60 times that amount, which would be $222,000 in salary had he died in 2016. So he, basically speaking, he was set to have a lot of benefits in his package, in his financial package at Weller, based on what they agreed to. They went through his email, 401k, all of those things. Now, she also testified to being responsible. So it's a transfer of power. Okay, so Procter & Gamble, thanks for that correction. Listen. Listen, without the to be quite honest, I did not record this part too tough because it wasn't a corporation page. So I did not. I will take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. But just for the record, Procter & Gamble owned Weller. Coty bought it, so Procter & Gamble relinquished control. Now Coty owns Weller. Understood. So Procter & Gamble no more owns. Well, us nerds care. Brooklyn, us nerds care. Like us, like this is like, like who cares? But you're right at the same time. It's all dollars in the end. It is. But yeah, let's listen to this particular testimony in which she says that Monica was the main beneficiary of the MetLife insurance. I did not plan this face, by the way. I did not think that she was going to look like this. So it's actually a perfect segue to close off this whole stream, because this face looks like, oh shit, they got me. Oh damn. But anyway, let's go on to this particular testimony.
Where he gave percentages for each of his 4 beneficiaries, correct?
Correct, yes.
And
40% Sementilli spouse, born in 1972. And 20%, damn.
the person, the main beneficiary of this policy was in fact his wife, correct?
Yes,
She got the largest portion in all of the different sections of the policies he bought.
that is correct.
All right, and those ranged from 40 to 45%, depending on which portion of the policy we're talking about,
Yes,
correct?
that's
Whether we're talking about the AD&D or the basic group life insurance.
Correct.
And then on the following page, the supplemental AD&D, we see that, again, she is the main beneficiary, taking 50% of the supplemental AD&D and 40% of the supplemental group life insurance.
Correct.
And the pages after that would be the same documentation that you assisted Fabio in filling out that we saw in exhibits 96 and 97 that he sent to his wife in May and October of 2016.
Yes.
And as we go through again these pages, it sets out all of the selections that Fabio Sementilli made with respect to his enrollment, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so that's all the beneficiary that's all the entitlements, the what she was going to earn. Now, let's look at the juicy payout that she received. Juicy payout that made her became even hugging the page, like damn. Petting. How do you like? Come on, that's actually. Imagine petting. Oh my gosh! Imagine actually getting the document and then you're going like this on the document. Could you imagine that? Let's go into this.
Beneficiaries on Fabio Sementilli's policy.
Yes, it does.
And does it also appear to be, in terms of the amounts paid, consistent with the percentages that Fabio Sementilli delegated for his beneficiaries with respect to his life insurance as well as his accidental death and dismemberment policy?
Yes, approximately.
And so here we see that MetLife paid out a total claim of approximately $914,000.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's go back a little bit.
Approximately $914,000.
Yeah.
Damn. So, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So, motive to commit murder. It's not proof that a murder occurred, but it's hella, and I mean hella persuasive. All of this, well, they didn't really give the date. I didn't get the date of the actual payout. I don't think a date was discussed yet. I would have noted it down. Trial channel, you might notice. Trial channel, you might actually notice. So, do you know the date? Don't spoil it. Actually, you know what? Don't spoil it for me. I'll find out. And then if we get the dates, I will note it as we go along. That's a lot. SD Sub Girl, welcome to the stream. I appreciate you for joining. Good to see you again. That is a lot of money, but I wouldn't kill anyone for it. I don't know, man. If you tell me that I was entitled to earn $1 million, all I had to do was kill Nicki Minaj. Yeah, why not? I'm joking. I just don't know. I'm with you on this one. I just don't have that heart, man. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But if I know that I was married and I was earning that much, I just would do my best. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much, Random Girl, for modding today. I appreciate you. And hit that subscribe button, please. It will really, really do help us out. Also, make sure that you go on to, if you have a case that you want us to go through on this weekly shows, go on ketchupcourt.info/contact and give us the case name, whatever it might be, topic, case, whatever. Just write it all down and yeah, send it over. I will be very, very happy to check it all out. And yeah, it'll be but yeah, I forgot to share the screen. But yeah, this is the screen where you can suggest a case. It's right there. So if you want to see or want me to look into a case and break it down and go through it all here, I am looking at a Scientology case. I think Young Black Economist recommended it 2 weeks ago. So I'm still looking for it. I'm still on a lookout for those type of cases. But yeah, if you have a case idea or anything like that, but yeah. Oh, absolutely will I be covering the Courtney Clenney trial. Of course I'm covering the Courtney Clenney trial. I am not missing that. I'm trying to decide though whether to go live and do that one live or just do my video recaps. But I'm definitely covering it. I'm definitely gonna try and get guests on to discuss the case after it's done. I can't wait for that because the amount of effery has been going on in that trial. The things that the defense team has been throwing out there, I cannot wait for that thing to finally go to trial, because I know that they're let me not say anything. But yes, I will be covering the Courtney Clenney trial. But yeah, just to be really quick, because I don't like to go over the 2-hour mark. You guys know me. I try to keep things under 2 hours. But I just want to give one last update in regards to the McCann trial that we have been covering on this weekly show. Just a quick reminder, Madeleine McCann went missing in 2005 when her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, traveled to Portugal for a holiday, and she was missing then. Fast forward 10 years later, this woman goes by the name of Julia Wandelt, was claiming to be Madeleine herself and has been harassing the family, etc. The trial has just come to a conclusion. I believe it's come to a conclusion because there has been no more updates since day 9, since they really did a DNA test. This was the last testimony. It was where a forensic scientist came in and done a DNA test of Julia Wandelt, and says that there was no relation to Jerry and Kate McCann, and she is not Madeleine. Miss Hammond testified that the profiles from the two samples are different. Julia Wandelt cannot be Madeleine, and they used the DNA that was going down that they had on file for Madeleine McCann. So that's literally it. That was day 9, and I believe it's now gone to the jury for deliberation. Because I haven't seen any updates. Day 8 was last week. We went through that last week, so there probably would be a verdict soon. So if that happens, I will definitely update. But that's basically it. So Scientology, yeah, I have seen a case in regards to that, but I would look deeper. I'll look deeper, but it's in regards to all of these conspiracies and all these secret societies. That's one deep dive I'm planning. Since Young Black Economist gave me that idea 2 weeks ago, I have been building it up basically. But yeah, so let me just read a lot more of your chats. I think Justice. Oh, I would love to speak with Linda Beden. I would, if I could ever speak with her one day, I would love to speak with her one day about that. Monica, Brooklyn says, Monica, I hope you have some shoe left. I need those red bottoms. I don't know what. I'm guessing you mean Monica Sementilli. I haven't seen her in red bottoms, so I don't know what she looks like. But I will admit she does look pretty good for her age. I will admit that. She is not a bad looking girl. So, but you know what? But from what I'm hearing so far about the cheating and all that, not a good look. Not a good look at all. So in all of this, all the prosecution I set up so far is the motive for the crime. I'm gonna continue watching this week and get through what they're establishing for week 3. Like I said, I'm watching this all with you guys. Some of you guys have already watched the case. I know Trial Channel has already finished the case and watched all of it. So it's unfolding so much, but at the same time, I would just say there's nothing here though. Like, there's really nothing that I've seen that is like, yeah, she did this. All I've seen is she has received this at the end. That's all I've seen. She has received this at the end of the murder. She was calling. So I've noted most of the things. I'm like, okay, cool. If they are presenting this, they must be building to something later on. So she was calling about the life insurance in February, according to Verna's testimony. She wasn't just calling for life insurance. She was also speaking with the son the same hour of the death. You know, getting the son to come down from Canada, even knowing about the Canadian life insurance, which I'm wondering, which kind of makes sense why she would know, because she handled the finances. So I'm pretty sure 20-year marriage as well, they would have talked about it, you know. So and she never received it herself. Oh, that could explain why she was angry about the whole situation. But then she got the money. Don't tell me where she got the money from to buy the Mustang, because I got a theory working in my head so far in regards to her getting it from the son. So don't tell me, Trial Channel, where she got the money from. I want to find that out. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong on my own terms. But so yeah, so far it's all motive. Nothing is really sticking together, but it's a guilty verdict. So I want to know how the jury got there. I want to know if it's a right decision. That's the two things I'm holding it to. That's the two reasons, at the very least, why I want to see this case through. In fact, I've always been interested in the case, but it's just too juicy at this point. Like a lot of these things coming out, there's just so much here that I just want to see how the defense defended all against all of this, and I want to see how the prosecution stick. I want to see how the prosecution stick the landing. I told you, I want to be wrong on my own terms. I want to be wrong on my own terms. Damn, I wish I found that out, but so I was wrong. You know what? How did you get the high heels? How did you get the high heels emoji? How did you get that? Wait, does YouTube offer that? Oh, I didn't even know that YouTube had high heels emoji. Huh. That's interesting. Wait, hold up. Yeah, like, no, could you please tell me, how did you get that SD sub girl? Oh yeah, but anyway, let me plug the channel before we go. Make sure if you are not a member of the channel, do consider becoming a member. It will really help us out, and supporting the channel. You get cool emojis like this, where you can use on here and interact with all of us on the stream. You also have early access to a lot of our videos and a lot of our contents. I think it's my phone's emoji. Okay, through the phone. All right, fair enough. Okay, I didn't even know that. Okay, I'm gonna have to think of a unique emoji that goes with that. Like give me ideas for emojis as well, guys, and then I will try and put it up. Hey Sharon, oh my government, it's Heinz over here, by the way. It's Heinz. Hey Sharon, welcome to the stream. But yeah, we are basically closing off now. So replay crew, you can enjoy yourself. Trial channel type shoe in the regular emoji keyboard. All right. I will have to find, if you guys have emoji ideas, let me know. And also, of course, we have the tastemakers tier on the Heinz membership. It's a condiment. Heinz Condiment Island is the first part of the membership, and then we have the tastemaker tier where you receive exclusive content and uncut interviews, etc. So we are going to be giving a lot more content on there. The future, I did announce last week, I believe, so the first debrief stream that we did, that's available for the public and everyone. But for future debrief streams where we discuss the verdict, that will be streamed out for everyone, no problem. But after, it will be changed for members, and then I will put out the highlights of it for everyone else. So I just wanted to put it out there. That's how it's gonna work, so that at the very least, the people on the tastemakers tier will get more content, because the people that have been supporting me, the members that have been supporting me for so long on that tastemakers tier, they haven't got anything. Like they haven't got the exclusive videos like I promised or anything like that. So I feel it's my way to try and make up for all of that, because it's just I felt really bad, because they should be receiving exclusive content. I will start giving the exclusive content now that I have now that I'm back doing this full time. So if you want to see exclusive content and support us further, that is one way you can do it. We also upload to Patreon as well, so you can support there as well on Patreon. But there is a lot more. I will release this later on once we get there. But yeah, I am releasing content by the end of October. So I'm putting more content on the tastemakers tier. I think this is the uncut interviews from the Deb v. Heard trial, and 2 unreleased interviews where I spoke with the medical doctor that was looking at Amber's injuries, as well as the alcohol nurse that was discussing how addicts react in a domestic violence situation, basically. So those are the 2 videos, exclusive videos that I'm going to be releasing onto the the tastemakers tier. But anyway, thank you so much, every single one of you, for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. Hopefully you guys have a great evening. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'll see you back next week for another episode of Source and Order, where, again, like I always say, if you have a taste for the law, you're already one of us. Make it official. Become a tastemaker. Join us for one of these streams, because this is the only place where all of us can congregate and discuss these trials, go in depth, deep dive into these trials that I don't get a chance to do so in most of my videos. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great evening. Bye for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Ketchup Court live stream. Make sure that you smash that like button as well as hitting that subscribe button to be notified of our future live streams. We go live regularly bringing you case updates and recaps of ongoing trials, so make sure you hurry back on the next live stream. We also have more content on the channel that you can binge on. Check out the playlist that we have showcasing all of these contents. Without further, I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I'll see you back in court.